Hi guys. Mekanism is the 800-pound gorilla of mods in Valhelsia 3 and in many other mod packs. It is just all around a great mod. Early game, it gives you ore doubling, ore tripling. Mid game, flight and vein mining tools. Late game, overpowered armor and incredible power generation. All sorts of stuff available in this mod. We're going to jump into Mekanism in this third episode of Valhelsia Survival Guide. So stick around and we're going to jump right into Mekanism. Before we get started, do me a favor, guys. Hit that subscribe button, like the video, post some comments. Let me know what you think. It helps the channel a lot. Okay, thank you so much. So let's clear out some space here. We need a spot to build our initial Mekanism power generation. We're going to get ore doubling set up. I didn't go to sleep last night and went down and mined some more ore and osmium, some iron ore, osmium. Got some more coal because we're gonna need some of that stuff. So in order to get ore doubling, we need to get to the enrichment chamber. So iron ore, obviously smelting it gives you 1 iron ingot. If we look at the enrichment chamber, it takes an iron ore and turns it into 2 iron dust. And you can take 2 iron dust and smelt them individually into iron ingots. And that gives us our ore doubling. So our short-term goal here is the enrichment chamber. To get there, we need to do a few things first. First of all, we need power. And the first thing for power in Mekanism is the heat generator. And we're just gonna make one of those for now. We need iron, osmium, planks, copper, and a furnace. Let's make several furnaces right here, just so we'll have those. We might need to smelt some copper. Let's get that going. I kind of want to be stingy with the copper because we'll be able to double this pretty soon. And I think we only need it for this heat generator. We're going to make several more, but we'll do that after we can double ore. Okay, so we've got 2 copper, 2 osmium, and here's some iron. We're going to need that lava like we got last time. Okay, so now we can make our heat generator. Planks. All right, we're going to need 2 lava buckets for this. We'll see why in a second. And let's make some stone bricks so we can make this not look terrible. Okay, so I think right over here we'll set up our Mekanism. And so we're going to put the heat generator down. We'll do that right here. We're going to kind of run that direction and this direction with a line of machines. So if we right click on here, we can put a lava bucket straight in here and that will burn it, create energy, but that consumes the lava. A heat generator works another way, which is to surround it with lava, and the heat will create from the lava will create just a passive infinite energy source. Not very strong, but it's a good start. In order to do that, we need to surround it with lava. So we put a temporary block here, break that again, and we're going to dig underneath here so the lava just kind of flows down and around it without spreading out. Just one deep and back. So the lava, which we put right here, is now going to flow down and into those holes and under the generator. And you can see it's starting to fill up. So with that one bucket, we're producing about 29.5 FE energy units per tick. There's one trick you can do to get a little bit more out of this thing, because we can't put lava down the front because we need to connect cables to it. But we shift right click, we can saturate it with lava. And now we're getting almost 40. So that's kind of the max you can get out of the heat generator. The next thing we need is the enrichment chamber. If we hit A here, we can kind of bookmark this over here so we have easy access. In order to get to the enrichment chamber, we need basic control circuit and steel casing. To get steel casing, we need glass and steel. And for the basic control circuit, we need to infuse osmium with redstone with the Metallurgic Infuser. So the next thing we're going to need to make is a Metallurgic Infuser, because that is what we need for making steel and for making that basic control circuit. So to make the Metallurgic Infuser, let's also bookmark that one. We need 2 furnaces, iron, redstone. We have all these things. How many can we make? Let's make 2 of these for now, because as you'll see, you can put different infusing materials in them. We can only power one of these at a time. So we'll do that for starters. Put that down here. And now our infuser is powering up from the generator behind it. We'll make some universal cables, which is what we'll use to connect power to all the machines as quickly as possible so we can line up multiple machines. So this metallurgic infuser takes an infusing material. In this case, we'll put some coal in here. And you can see that coal just gets consumed and fills it with carbon. And we're going to be able to infuse let's infuse 8 iron ingots. Now, creating steel is a two-step process with the infuser. You first infuse an iron ingot to get enriched iron. Our day is ending. It's getting dark. We're going to be probably getting visited by mobs. I'll get some torches. Let's see if we can light this up a little bit while that's cooking. Okay, we've got 8 enriched iron, which we put right back in again and infuse it with coal. Which I put more coal in here because it uses 10 millibuckets per enriched iron. And this makes steel dust, which we then put in a furnace or a Mekanism Energized Smelter, which is what we're going to make pretty soon to round out our early game generation. We'll let this cook. Actually, we'll grab these 4 and let's go turn this into steel. Now, while that's cooking, steel is great because it's not only necessary for Mekanism machines, but we can create armor, and it has much more durability on tools than iron does. And it makes pretty powerful armor as well. So once we get some good steel production, we'll be able to upgrade our tools in our Tetra workbench. And okay, so now we have steel. Next, let's make some universal cables so we can power multiple machines. And we need 2 steel and a redstone to get 8 of those, which is great. Let's break this, covering up the lava because things tend to fly around. We don't want to lose it. And now we can create a line of cables. Let's just run all 8 of these out this way. They also work as kind of a battery. So they fill up with power. The more you add, the more they hold. So our heat generator is holding 64 and our cables are holding 25K. And so we're building up power that way. We'll put our metallurgic infuser back on here. It had our steel in it. We can put the other one down next to it. And now we can run kind of a steel production and put iron in here and have it push the enriched iron dust in here and turn that into steel dust all automatically. And then we can push that into a smelter, which will automatically create the steel for us. But before we get there, our initial goal is an enrichment chamber because that gives us doubling. So we need some glass. This would be great if we can get through this night without having to sleep. Okay, let's get some glass going. We can double this up. While that's cooking, let's take a look at this configuration so we can run these machines into each other. So the side config on all these Mekanism machines, so the right is already set to output, but it's not set to eject. So we need to turn eject on. This is a nice way to quickly stop a machine from spitting out materials if you want to do kind of a one-off operation. Now in this one, we set the left side for input, which it is already set for. We'll leave the eject off for now. And if we put iron in here now, and we need coal in here, and we need coal in this one. I'm being stingy with the coal because we're pretty soon going to be able to 8 times our coal for the purpose of infusing. So we'll put a couple iron ingots in here. And we can see what's going to happen here is it's going to, when it finishes, it's gone, and it put it into this one, and it's turning that into steel dust. Okay, we'll just grab those 2. Now we've got 6 steel dust that will turn into steel ingots. I think that's enough glass for now. Let's get those going. So now for our enrichment chamber, we need steel casing, and we're still missing a couple steel ingots, which we will have in a second. So our steel casing, we've got one now. Okay, now to get these basic control circuits, we need to run osmium through the infuser with redstone. We have some osmium and some redstone. Let's use one of these infusers. It's still got a little bit of carbon in it. Let's just dump it so it's gone, and we'll put some redstone in here. We'll turn off the eject so we don't send our basic control circuits into the next machine because we turned eject off. There's 1 and 2. We're going to need a few more of these, so let's get those going. It is now day 11. No sleep for the wicked. Okay, our enrichment chamber we can make now. So now we have an enrichment chamber. And let's go put this up here. We'll kind of move it over to the side a little bit. We can move things around. So now the enrichment chamber does our ore doubling for us. So if we put, for example, this quicksilver ore in here, it's going to create 2 quicksilver dusts. Let's double our copper while we're running over here. And we can then put the quicksilver dust into a furnace. And now we get 2 for the price of 1. We have now achieved ore doubling. Now we can automate this a whole bunch more, which we'll do. But let's set up the whole doubling process so we can just drop things off, they'll double and smelt them for us. So the last thing we need in this initial setup is an energized smelter, which is this one right here. Now to get that, we need basically the same recipe except glass, I think, instead of iron. Can we make one? Energized smelter. Okay, we need those 2 control circuits, and we need another steel casing. We can make the steel casing. Let's go get those basic control circuits. Probably should put a crafting table over there. And now we have our smelter. And we'll put this right here. Now we set the config output on the right. That's kind of the default, is output on the right, input on the left. Kind of things move from left to right. But we have to turn on eject. If we turn that on, everything just dropped right into here. And now we have our smelter cooking our copper. So the last thing we need to do is set up a process so that we can drop all of our ores into a chest, and they'll move through the process. Now we can't connect the chest directly. We need to use item pipes, which are called Logistical Transporters in Mekanism. And that's this right here. We need another basic control circuit and some steel. We're out of both. Let's put some more osmium into our infuser there. Now what we're going to want to do is kind of set up infusers that are special purpose so that we're not wasting infusion materials. So another thing that the enrichment chamber does for us is it creates enriched coal and redstone. And 1 enriched carbon is worth 8 coal in the Metallurgic Infuser. So we'll grab a couple of those, and you'll see we're going to get 80 buckets instead of the 10. And if we drop some iron in here, we're kind of running all over the place here. You can watch a video running through all of the Mekanism stuff in creative mode, and this is what it feels like to do this in survival. The very first setup, back and forth, smelting these things until we get some automation going. All right, so our logistical transporters, we can make 8 of those now, and we're going to need a configurator, which is going to allow us to, I think we're going to need this before we can make this work completely, because we're not going to be able to pull out of a chest, I don't think, without configuring the pipes. So let's get a couple of chests. So now I think these things can automatically push into chests, but they can't pull out of them. So we put a chest here. We can set that to eject, and stuff will dump into a chest automatically. However, I don't think we can pull from a chest. Let's just test this. Yeah, see, we can't pull. So we need to put either a hopper or a Logistical Transporter. You know what? Let's make a hopper for now, because that configurator is going to be a little bit of a project. So we take this another chest. And make a hopper. These things are becoming cheaper now that we can double ores. And let's put this on top so we can save this kind of assembly line space. Take that out, turn the eject is on. So now whatever we put in here for ores, they're going to run through our doubler. That's going to spit out and go into our smelter. And when that's done, that's going to drop into this chest. So here's our doubled ores. Here's our ore input. Now we have ore doubling. And we have phantoms. All these sleepless nights. Okay. I think this is a good place to stop. We have the ore doubling in Mekanism, which was the goal of this episode. Next time, we'll head toward ore tripling, which will get us in a great place to springboard into the other mods in Valhelsia 3. So hit the subscribe button, drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Where should we head after we do ore tripling? What mod do you think we should jump into? Haven't decided yet. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.